Carbon management, yeah. How did you get into that? Because you started in petroleum engineering, worked in industry a little bit, different places around the world, Saudi and here, but decided to change. What drove that?
So when I worked in the industry, I worked in very different positions. So I worked as a sales engineer, I worked as a field engineer, and I wanted to pursue something more technical. I want to be into science. So for that, I needed to keep studying, and I didn't know what to study. If I wanted to do something like petroleum engineering again and go more deep. So then I went to Saudi Arabia. I worked in characterization of certain type of rock called carbonates, which is where most of the oil and gas comes from in like the worldwide.
Yeah, certainly in the Middle East.
Yes, especially in the Middle East. So that was really exciting for me. And their department was petroleum engineering department, but they were doing much more than that. It was more of energy resources. So that's where I learned about different low carbon technologies. And I knew I wanted to do that. That's when I fell in love with that. And I felt like I can use my skills and whatever I learned to help the world be cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting when people hear oil and gas and clean, they don't really associate those things together.
Yeah.
How does that work? How do you make oil and gas clean?
Yes, so a lot of people think when they talk about fossil fuels, which would be carbon, oil, gas, all of this, they think that is bad and that's it. But to me, fossil fuels are really not bad. What is bad is the emissions, CO2 emissions that they have. So to me, that's the problem we need to tackle. And it is possible to have clean fossil fuels if you can capture those emissions and store them underground.
Right. So what exactly is the process there? What is carbon capture?
Yeah.
Take me through it.
Yeah, so the technology is called carbon capture and storage. So what it does is you capture the carbon at the sources of emission. So you need to have that carbon capture technology. Then you do the transportation.
Like a power plant or a
let's say
hydrogen plant?
Cement plant, you know, a lot of different plants. Refineries, so those big companies that emit a lot of CO2, you separate the emissions, the CO2 from the emissions, the whole mix, because you don't only have CO2, you have much more, right? So you get the CO2, and then you put it inside pipelines, and you transport that CO2 towards a sink. So this is a place that is geologically proven to maintain the CO2 underground for geological amount of times.
Okay. Yes. So you have to take that gas and compress it and move it in a pipeline and then put it down. And so you're very interested in the storage part, the underground rock, understanding the rocks and the fluids and how that all stays there for a long time. Right?
Yes, exactly. And this has been really exciting for me because as a petroleum engineer, I already had some background in geology.
Right.
But now that I'm studying this technology, it has been so exciting to see what kind of rocks can you have, what type of rocks, what do they do? Some of them would solidify the CO2, some of them will store it as a supercritical fluid. So different types of rocks do very different things to the CO2.
Right.
So this is a type of study that we do. We also want to see that we don't have any leakage. So you want to see that you have other types of rock on top of that so you don't have any leaks in the future.
So carbon utilization and storage, why are people excited about this? I mean, if I'm hearing this out in the public, I might hear, so another way to keep oil and gas going or something. Why are people excited about this?
Exactly. So it is a way to keep oil and gas in. So as I said, oil and gas is not bad. So it would be a way to make oil and gas clean.
Okay.
It would be a way to have net zero oil and gas potentially. So this is what it's exciting about this technology, because as our population grows and our quality of life increases, we're going to have much more, like a higher demand for oil and gas, for energy. And to get this amount of energy, we're going to need fossil fuels. Yes.
Yeah, so oil and gas have so many different roles they play that are positive. And you're saying this technology allows us to take the negative part, the CO2 emissions, and do something with it. Does it work?
There's a long way to have a perfect carbon capture and storage, let's say, industry.
Right.
But we have had pilots so far, especially not only USA, Europe is also like Norway is working a lot on CCS.
Gotcha.
Saudi Arabia is interested in this as well. So the technology is growing, interest is growing as the policies get impulse, research. So I think as we talk today, I can give you some answers, but I know in the future they're going to be much better. And I know I'm very positive about this technology.
Yeah. So students these days, high school students, college students, particularly females that are less represented in the STEM field, science and engineering, when they hear clean, I think they probably think mostly solar and wind. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
So is this an opportunity for young people to come into different parts of the energy field and make a big difference?
It definitely is. There is this misconception that clean energy would be only renewables. And when they say renewables, you only think about wind and solar. You don't even think about hydro. So there are a lot of technologies that are clean, including nuclear, including the renewables that include hydro, and fossil fuels with carbon capture and storage would be a part of that clean energy mix.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So there are lots of options out there. We need good talent.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So that's very inspiring to young people who are looking at wanting to make a difference.
Yeah. And I would say it's important for young people to talk to people that are really involved in this industry. Because when I was looking for like what I wanted to study, I didn't know who to talk to, you know. It wasn't easy for me to go to a university, talk to professors, because we just didn't have that easy access.
Right.
So I think it's very important to be part of those reaching programs that universities have.
Yes.
Do tours, talk to people, look for programs that are encouraging people to go into STEM or into geoscience. There's a lot of programs to go into geoscience. And a lot of people don't even combine how much geoscience is into energy. So our program here at UT, I am part of, although I am a petroleum engineer, I am part of the geoscience school. And this geoscience school is so big, like people don't realize how big it is and how many different things and diverse it is. So we have like planetary stuff, we have paleontology, so you like dinosaurs, you can go in there. And we have climate, we have energy. So it's like so many different things that you can do, and that when I was in high school, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I kind of like geology, but I never really knew what it was.
Sure.
So I was 2 days ago in this symposium where we were presenting our research in our geoscience school, and I was like, oh my God, this is a lot. Like, it's actually a lot of different cool things you can do that you don't even realize.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So I would say go out there, talk to people, visit schools, and see how much fun that is.
Yeah. What are things students can do in their lives to reduce emissions, like personally? What are things you can do?
Yeah, so for me personally, I would say tries to reduce consumption in every sense. So an example, my husband and I moved here 2 years ago, and it's been so hard for us to keep thinking, we don't want to get a second car. And it's been so hard because everything is made for you to move in a car.
Right.
So he just has to pick me up and drop me off, or I have to do that for him, or one of us has to wake up earlier than the other so we can make it work. So it's really hard, I know, because I've been there. But I would say if you can not drive and maybe ride your bike or get the bus, public transportation, so that would be one way. Another one, turn your lights off, like, you know, the houses here are so huge. So you can like just turn out the light wherever you are in the room you are, and not the others, you know. AC, so there's this energy efficiency thing I learned with my cohort. They are like from very different backgrounds, And one of them told me, hey, you know, during the summer you can have your AC like high temperatures, and then during the winter you can have you know, low temperatures in your house. So that small things like that could help a lot.
Yeah,
so,
a lot of personal efficiency things we can do.
So,
and they all matter.
They all matter.
Add them all up.
Yeah, we don't need to change the world doing bigger scale stuff. Like, it would be great as well. That's what we're trying to do, but small stuff matter a lot.
Right. Well, you're a very important inspiration for young people, particularly females in science and engineering and your path. Appreciate your visiting with us, and anything that you wanted to share, Shadya, that we haven't talked about. If you could say something to a young student who came up to you perhaps in high school and said, you know, how do I become you? What would you advice would you give them?
Yeah, I would say that the main thing for you or for me to be successful is to do what you love. And whatever you're doing, do it 100%, give your effort. That's the way you can achieve things, and that's the way I'm here today. I've been following my career, giving my 100% every step I do, and I'm studying this because it's something I love. And I started loving it. The more I learn, the more I love it. So if you have the smallest interest in something, it would be great to read and ask and try to follow that path.
Yeah. Great advice for all of us. Never too late.